November might seem like the month when your garden starts to wind down, when the air gets cooler, the leaves are falling, and it feels like nature is telling you to take a break. But here's the big secret most people don't realize. This month isn't the end of your gardening season, it's actually the beginning of next year's success. November is quietly one of the most powerful months to set your garden up for an absolutely massive harvest next year. And today, I'm going to show you 20 crops that love being planted right now. They thrive in the chill, build deep roots through the winter, and reward you big time when everyone else is still waiting for spring. I'll be honest, I used to make this exact mistake. Every year around this time, I'd start packing away my tools, clearing out the beds, and thinking, well, that's it for the season. I thought gardening was something you just pause until spring. But once I realized what was actually happening under the soil this time of year, how nature keeps working even when things look still, it completely changed how I garden. I'm not exaggerating when I say this shift doubled my results. And trust me, I'm never making that old mistake again. Because here's the thing, November planting is like investing early in the stock market. You don't always see the results immediately, but the growth compounds. The soil stays alive, the roots get stronger, and by the time spring arrives, your garden is way ahead of the game. Stick with me till the end of this video, because crop number 10 is the one everyone overlooks, and yet it produces like crazy every single time. So what's the secret power behind November planting? It really comes down to a few simple but powerful factors. First, the temperatures are cooler, which means your plants are under way less stress. They can focus on growing strong, deep roots instead of struggling against the summer sun. Second, this time of year usually brings more steady moisture from rain, so you don't have to water as often. The soil stays naturally damp and cozy, just the way roots love it. And third, maybe the best part, most of those annoying pests that attack your garden all summer long, they're gone. They've packed it up for the winter, which means your young plants can grow in peace. While everyone else is putting their tools away and thinking the season is over, you're out there doing the smart thing, quietly preparing your garden for success. You're letting nature do half the work for you. Your crops are building strong foundations underground so that when the weather warms up, they explode with growth. This is how smart gardeners save time, save money, and still get bigger harvests. You're not fighting nature, you're working with it. And honestly, that's the secret sauce behind every thriving garden. Now, let's get into the real stars, the hard-working crops that absolutely love the chill and will reward your patience 100 times over. First up, garlic. This is the ultimate set-it-and-forget-it crop. You take a few cloves, tuck them into the soil now, cover them with mulch, and that's it. You can basically forget about them for months. Over the winter, while everything else looks quiet, those little cloves are busy growing roots and building strength. Come summer, they reward you with huge, flavorful bulbs that taste nothing like store-bought garlic. Once you taste homegrown garlic, you'll never go back. It's like discovering what garlic is supposed to taste like. Next up, onions. They're just as low maintenance and just as rewarding. You plant your onion sets in November, mulch them up to protect them from the cold, and then you just let them do their thing. They grow slowly, quietly, almost invisibly, but when spring arrives, they suddenly take off. You'll get big, strong onions before most people even think about planting theirs. Then there's spinach, the tough little warrior of the garden. Spinach doesn't care about frost, in fact, it kind of loves it. A little cold snap can actually make the leaves taste sweeter. It's like nature's own seasoning trick. Plus, you can get multiple harvests from one planting, which means a steady supply of fresh greens all winter long, especially if you live somewhere with milder winters. And of course, you can't talk about cold weather champs without mentioning kale. Kale actually gets sweeter when the temperature drops. The frost turns its starches into sugars, giving it a richer, almost nutty flavor. It's like Mother Nature decided to make candy out of a superfood. Plus, kale is one of those crops that just keeps on giving. You can harvest the outer leaves and the plant keeps producing for months. Let's talk about broad beans, or fava beans as some people call them. These guys are incredible multitaskers. Not only do they give you delicious beans to eat, but they also fix nitrogen in your soil, which means they're naturally improving your garden's fertility for next season. Think of them as little soil helpers that feed you and your plants at the same time. Carrots are another one to love in November. Sure, they grow slower in the cold, but oh my goodness, the flavor is next level. Cool soil makes carrots concentrate their sugars, giving you sweet, crisp, almost candy-like roots. Once you've tasted a winter-grown carrot, you'll wonder why you ever bothered with summer ones. And if you're someone who likes quick results, winter radishes are your new best friend. Varieties like daikon or black Spanish radish thrive in the cold. They grow fast, they're reliable, and they give you that satisfying feeling of harvesting something fresh when everyone else's gardens are bare. Peas are another hidden gem for November. When you plant them now, they establish their roots while the weather is cool. They'll just hang out over the winter, staying strong underground, and then as soon as spring warmth arrives, they rocket upward. You'll be picking peas weeks before anyone else. It feels like cheating, but it's really just smart timing.
Then there's lettuce. A lot of people think of lettuce as a spring or summer crop, but there are so many cold-hardy varieties that thrive in cool weather, like winter romaine, butter crunch, or Arctic king. They give you continuous harvests, and with a little protection, you can enjoy fresh salads deep into winter. And number 10, cabbage. This one's the crown jewel of the cold garden. Plant your seedlings in fall, protect them with mulch, and let the cool air do its work. The heads form slowly, the frost sweetens the flavor, and you end up with big, beautiful, long-lasting cabbage heads. They're practically nature's food storage system. Hardy, nutritious, and perfect for soups, slaws, and ferments. Now let's talk about the underdogs, the crops hardly anyone mentions, but experienced gardeners quietly swear by. These are your secret weapons. Leeks, for example. They take their time, sure, but once they're ready, they're worth every bit of patience. Their flavor is mild, buttery, and perfect for soups or sautés. And they just sit there happily through the winter, waiting until you're ready to harvest. Then we've got mustard greens. Fast-growing, flavorful, with a peppery kick that wakes up any dish. They grow like crazy in cool weather. And as a bonus, they even help with pest control by acting as a trap crop. Turnips? Total 2-for-1 deal. You get the earthy, slightly sweet roots that roast beautifully, and you also get those leafy greens that taste like collards or kale. Rutabaga or swede is another old-school favorite that deserves a comeback. It's super hardy, stores forever, and tastes sweet and rich when cooked, perfect for mashes and stews. Chives are another must-have. Plant them once, and they come back year after year. They might die back when it's freezing, but the second spring arrives, they're one of the first to return. A dependable, fresh burst of flavor right when you need it. Mizuna is another one I love. It's a Japanese green that grows incredibly fast, even in cool weather. The taste is mild and slightly peppery, perfect for salads and stir-fries, and it's super forgiving, even for beginners. Parsley is another cold weather hero. It doesn't mind frost at all and keeps growing long after other herbs have given up. Having fresh parsley all winter long just makes everything in the kitchen taste better. And don't forget about beets. You're not just growing a root, you're growing a 2-part crop. The greens are tender and flavorful, and the roots develop slowly beneath the soil. You can harvest the tops early while the roots keep developing. Celery is another sleeper hit. It's slow to start, but once it gets going, it's worth the wait. Homegrown celery has an intensity and crispness that the store-bought stuff just doesn't have. And finally, perennial herbs like thyme and oregano. These are your long-term investments. You plant them once, and they'll reward you for years. They settle in over the winter, strengthen their roots, and come back more robust every spring. Now, once your crops are in the ground, how do you protect them so they can reach their full potential? It's simpler than you think. The key is to keep them cozy. Add a thick blanket of mulch, straw, shredded leaves, or wood chips around your plants. This helps regulate the soil temperature and protect the roots from deep freezes. You can also create mini greenhouses with simple tools. A bit of clear plastic stretched over hoops makes a low tunnel. It doesn't have to be fancy or expensive. These small tunnels trap warmth during the day and protect your plants from frost, wind, and snow. That's the beauty of November gardening. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. With just a little effort now, you're setting yourself up for an effortless, abundant spring. So there you have it, 20 amazing crops that quietly turn your garden into a winter food factory while everyone else is waiting for the season to start. You're not just extending your growing season, you're building resilience, saving time, and making your garden more productive year-round. If you found even one crop on this list that you're excited to try, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button so more gardeners can discover this information and join our community. And hey, if you're serious about getting the most out of your space, check out my next video on vegetables that grow like fruit trees. It's one of my all-time favorites, and I think you'll love it. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay rooted, stay curious, and keep your garden growing strong.